Yes, sis, what I
I'm
would
just
like
trying to
for
get
you
them
to
to
do,
stop
if you,
cursing
I'm
themselves.
gonna call back in. But I would like for you to do, if you don't mind, and while I'm gonna call back in, does this remove the intent, the new content of what this word is being reined into right now? Does that remove the spell? While you're explaining it, I'm going to hang up, and you could go ahead and talk, and Madam Heaven is still online, so, and I'm going to call back in. I believe it's my line. It's normally where it comes from, so I'll call right back in.
Okay. Now, she hung up. It's still going on.
Yes, Dr. Yafabe, if you would please continue what you were saying.
Well, the static and the popping is still continuing, even though the sister hung up. So I'm thinking it is not her phone. Maybe I should hang up and call back? Because the popping is extremely immense.
Well, you can do that as well. Yes, if you would like to.
Let me hang up and see if it's me. So this is we're not going to be able to get the whole interview done correctly with this level of interference. Okay?
Yes, and I appreciate you so much.
Okay.
Yes, okay, I'm back online, and it still doesn't seem as if they want us to really get this message out today, boy.
Well,
I don't know what it is.
Yes, the Dr. Yafabe, she hung up as well, and
okay.
to see if it was in her line. But as we know, as you said, putting out the words of peace of the Manatak, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom, Como esta, Doshi Dos, Father been saying the word of peace. And as we're sending out the vibrations, the three sisters, as you said, no longer in that word history, but in the word her historians or her telling his history, that putting out the energy and waking up our people to, as you said, the spells and the curse. So as we take them, that's why I said the old world or old millennium, that's why we say when I'm you, meaning to start at a new beginning, a new human, to see the newness in yourself, because to awaken yourself is that word nur or light, or to illuminate. And so that is what the universe, I just like to say, Will said another time, even with the word Ramadan. But if you go into the word Ramadan, you will also see the word Madam. You will see the word Mada. You will see the opening of the womb, which we have, as you said, the new pyramid, going back to the essence of that opening of the womb, to bring in your chi of yourself, your physical, your spiritual, your mental. And so that's why
excuse me, Madam Heaven, now what I would like to do is I'm going to request now, I've hung up, Sister Dr. Yafabe is back with us, and she's hung up, so I'm going to ask you if you will hang up and call back in, too. I don't think that's the case, but just go ahead real quick.
I don't have any clicking.
You have nothing? Okay. All right. No, I think it's coming from me, from my end, because when I put it on mute, I don't think you all are hearing all the clicking. But before I do that, then let's go and... You still hearing it, my sister, on your line as well?
Even when I called in and I pressed one and was waiting for someone to answer, I'm still hearing it. I mean, if the listeners are not hearing it, it's fine. But if they're hearing it, it's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, let me check and see
my
children. They're listening online and see if they're hearing it as well. Hold on, we have someone else who has raised their hand. Hold on and see. Thank you for holding. This is 213-2218. Welcome to the Seed Dropper Homeschool Network. Are you experiencing the clicking as well?
This is one of y'all's friends, and yes, you can hear that really bad.
Yeah. And okay, I'm gonna.
I hear the clicking out,
Yes. Yeah, I hear very well myself. Okay, I'm going to ask everyone, put everyone on hold for just a brief moment and see if I can bring in some additional help from Blog Talk. So please hold on, my sisters.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Yafabe?
That's better.
Yes, it is. I believe that it is. Madam Heaven, hang up and call back in, my sister. It's coming from your line right now. That's the only line that I don't have open. So if you could, please just call back in. Okay, and while she's doing that,
now, the question you asked me. Sorry. You asked me something, but I forgot what it was. Was it about spells, or what was it?
We were talking. The question was about the content. Now that this word has a new content to it, does that change the meaning? Does that change the spell in the essence of the word?
No, it absolutely does not. See, a lot of people. That's another problem that I have with a lot of mentally evolving people. I'm going to use that instead of conscious. People that are evolving mentally, which has a tendency to cause it to evolve spiritually, a lot of them feel, well, the word means what I say it means. I'm the one with the power. It's what I think it is. And I have to say, and I had a spiritual, holistic Dr. Homie, and he moved from L.A. to Florida, named Dr. B, B-O-C-T-A-H, Dr. B, who's also a scholar in what he does. But he's a musician, and he and I had kind of gone back and forth a little bit about it. He's like, well, Sister Yafa, I'm the one with the power. It's what I say it is. I'm like, no, Dr. B, it's all about frequencies and resonances and how things vibrate in the omniversal forces or the cosmic. And as a musician, and I had to explain it to him this way, and I'm explaining to your listeners what I explained to him to try to help them comprehend it. As a musician, you know that musical tones and notes have a particular frequency. And nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do that will take a particular musical note and change the note to a different note. Meaning you cannot take a C sharp and make it an F flat. I don't care what you do. A C sharp is a C sharp is a C sharp. You can start calling it an F flat, but it's going to still resonate as a C sharp. So people that feel like, well, the word has power now because it's what we say it is, and, it means this and it means that, and, black power and whatever. The word means what it means, and it meant what it meant. And just like a musical tone, because a word is a sound that is uttered when you speak it, never mind what you read, but when you speak it, you utter a particular resonance and frequency on the molecular world that the waves come forth out of your mouth. And these sounds come forth out of your mouth as a resonance that causes things to happen or not happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like every time you open your mouth, all around your face, butted up against your face, you have the molecular world that you cannot see, which are called, molecules, which you break down to atoms, which you break down to protons and neutrons, electrons, quarks, and space. Just pressed up against your face. Now, if you put your hand in front of your face, as soon as you start talking, you feel the wind push or whatever's coming out of your mouth. You feel the resonance coming out of your mouth, blowing the molecules up against your hand. It blows out and it causes things to happen because the molecular around you are the things that things are made and molded and shaped into and from. So words are things that are a result of thoughts, which are things, all of which create things. So when you say certain terms or words, if they resonate a particular way in the omniverse, there is nothing you can say to make the resonance change. It's like you can't take a C sharp and make it resonate differently. You can call it whatever you like. Oh, this is not a C sharp, this is a D flat, this is an F minor. Whatever you want to say, when you hit that tone or hit that note on a keyboard or any other kind of instrument, it is going to have a particular resonance, and that's all there is to it. And you can't make it resonate differently just because you decide that you're going to call it something else or that it means something else. In the invisible world, it means the same thing once it's uttered, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does. And actually, sis, that is the part that they don't see, is that invisible world that you just spoke about, because it is unknown and because of what those people have represented around that word, as you talk about Black Power coming from the Black Panthers, the new Black Panthers now, and even it is being echoed in this new movement of Kemet and the movement of the Nation of Islam. These are all groups. Now, with that in mind, what kind of energy ball, because I see it as all of these people are echoing this one particular word about these one particular group of people all across this world. What in your imagination is the dynamics of what that is doing to us? How big is that curse that we're looking at right now? I'm going to see if Madam Heaven can join us. I'm confident that it was her line because we don't hear anything anymore, but go right ahead.
It's having the impact that it was intended to have. It is cursing melanin-rich people into a state of lowlessness, lawlessness, dang near depravity, because I don't know what it is in this so-called Bible, and I'm not a Christian, and I don't know the Bible well enough to stand up and try to argue with any Christian. Never would try, because you're going to lose hands down every day with them. But in this so-called Bible, anytime the Creator got angry with somebody or pissed off with somebody or something like that, one of the things that happened to those individuals is they were cursed to be so-called pale or white with this so-called leprosy. Their skin was made so-called white. So you piss off Creator and make so-called God angry, then you are made so-called white or a leper. So one of the things it has done is melanin-rich people around the world are losing their melanin richness. They're losing their coloring. We're getting more bleached up, more pale, more light, more bright, more white in color. We are also being taken out of positions of power, out of sovereignty, out of the whole right use of will, where you don't bother anybody as long as they don't bother you. That's the way the world used to be under melanin-rich domination, particularly matrilineal domination. The world was basically do what you want to do, just don't hurt or bother anybody else with it. You know what I'm saying? In other words, find other people that consent and have at it. But, as soon as you start crossing into someone else, then there's a problem. But this whole patriarchal society is all about the squashing and oppressing of everything and everyone and everybody's will. So the best way to squash everybody's will is to squash the will volition or the will-moved people, meaning those people that function primarily in their own volition without bothering other people. You have to squash them in order to squash everyone else. So the first order of business was to go after women, call them witches, this, that, and the other, and whatever, the consorters of devils, and then go after people that had wealth and power. Because in communities where there was no wealth and no power, there were almost never any witches found. Usually when they came in and started accusing people of being witches and warlocks and worshippers and consorters with the devil and whatever, those were people that had a lot of wealth to be taken. So when our people refuse to get up off of this term, which clearly is not working for us, because remember, at one point, no one around the world was called so-called black. That's a term that really got fired up in the United States of America. In other countries, you were Ghanaian or, you were Rwandan or whatever your nationality was. Nobody was called a color overseas. That really started here, that black-white thing. It started here. But if you comprehend the power of America, and I mean when I say America, North, Central, South, and her islands, America has always been the ruler of the home. The people that rule America have a tendency to rule the world, or in this